Yo, what up, pod racers? Are you like me where you sunburn easily? Have narrow shoulders you want to hide from the world? Weirdly small nips? Great news, we have a solution. Original tabletop shirt designs. Reading Rainbow, Dungeon Club, a dungeon in a dragon. Find these and more over at patreon.com/Goblins Growlers Shirt Club at the $25 tier. These are all exclusive, limited run designs. We'll never bring them back again. So be sure you get yours by signing up at patreon.com/Goblins Growlers. Yippee! I've got this great progressive auto ad on my time.is right now. And it's just Flo being like, it's clear.
She's letting you know how hydrated she is.
I'm watching an ad where a stomach slowly turns from transparent into completely glossy pink.
Oh, is it telling you that you can have your stomach actually like stop being transparent? Do they have a drug for that?
Yeah. They're saying
I like seeing your organs. Keep it, man.
This is Quid Pro Roll, a fantasy live play adventure where a party of unlikely heroes embark on a quest to bring dragons back to their world.
Well, howdy, listeners. Welcome to the Daily Crier Listening Show. Show where, even when the walls come tumbling down, all the news in Varian and beyond can still make its way right to you. I've never been this deep under the main building.
How long have you worked here?
Worked ain't the most accurate word, but I can say with certainty this building has held up for centuries.
You didn't answer my question.
I'm surprised we haven't heard from the powers since the attack. Fortunately, those cat things can't see in the dark well, so deeper in we go.
I'm mapping our progress. These tunnels must lead to another exit.
Well, I'll be happy to see you when we get there. Right. I'll get to it. The party took their rest in Underhill. A quiet reprieve from the bustling city. Though not every sight in this idyllic town was pleasant, as Solinar and Koza soon found wanted posters for the whole party, labeling them all as criminals of the land. This, along with a letter detailing their banishment from Cinderdale, made for a frustrating start to their journey. Koza spent some time writing and mailing out some letters, since he was at a post office, I suppose. I wonder what will become of these letters. Lost like leaves, carried by the breeze. And as always, y'all take care now.
Are you alright?
I just need to stay focused. I'll be fine. At least this means the powers are still alive.
So the five of you are sitting in this tavern, well, diner, breakfast, tavern place, around a round table. Your breakfasts in various states of completion?
No, don't use that word.
Consumedness.
Doneness.
Yeah, that's it.
So, I just want to rewind for just a second and point out, I just want to rest on the aesthetic of a place that is half tavern, half diner.
It's a tavern tour.
I'm just imagining.
No, that's what you call a centaur that works in a tavern slinging beer.
No, it's a dinecanthrope because it changes from a diner to a tavern after 10 o'clock.
I'm sorry. What was it? Bitten by a rabid Denny's?
Yes.
I'm just imagining a imagine the chrome and polished counters of a diner, but then behind the diner is just a stone fireplace with a pot of stew boiling on it.
Oh, you said chrome. I thought you said crow men. I was like,
well, and also crow men that are working it, yeah.
But they're all in poodle skirts.
Yeah, but they also all are like jumping into their post-apocalyptic vehicles and they're spraying their beaks, going like shiny and crab.
Guys, this is my least favorite game of the quiet year we've ever played. So, you're sitting around this round table with your various breakfasts, and there's sort of this intensity that has settled in for all of you about the idea that there is an
How much is the bounty again? Did you say, Solinar?
Yeah, it's 5,000 gold pieces each. So a total for the party at large, which I do mean at large, 25,000 gold pieces.
I'll be right back. I've got a solution to this. Boat gets up and he goes to chat with the kitchen attendant.
Careful, Boat.
Boat?
Hello, I attend the kitchens.
Yeah, thanks. I was wondering if you had any spare sacks hanging around back there.
I've got so many sacks.
Like, made out of like burlap or canvas or something like that.
Oh, they're made out of burlap and Kansas, of course. Give me 1 second. Oh, here we go. Sacks of glory.
I'll just take 5 of them. How many do I owe you?
Let's see. For 5 sacks, I will go at 1 silver per sack. Wait, I'm being more higher. So 2 silvers, but even more. Whoa, a gold piece. 10 gold pieces per sack, sir.
Now, come on. I think you're driving a pretty hard. You're driving a pretty hard bag bargain there. I'll give you 1 gold per sack.
Yes, 1 gold per sack.
What is happening?
All right, here's 5 gold. I'll take those now.
Yes, 5 gold for me, and then 5 sacks for you.
I'm sorry, when did they hire Smeagol to be dealing with food in the back?
Well, since Smeagol was a halfling, it makes sense that he was an ancestor of apparently the Sacks-ville Baggins.
I've got sacks and I've got bags. Alex is dead. We killed her already. She keeps dying way too soon in these.
Alex,
come back to us.
Boat takes the 5 sacks and he goes back to the table. He's like, "All right, I got a solution for us here. Hand me that knife, Solinar."
Well, you're not using the dagger. Here, I'll give you one of these. And Solinar pulls out one of his throwing knives.
Well, I mean, you could have just given me a table knife. It's fine. So Boat, he's like, "Here, let me just puncture these sacks real quick." And he cuts 2 eye holes in each of the sacks. He's like, "All right." And then he takes and he puts one of the sacks over his head. He's like, "Now we are completely anonymous."
Boat,
It's a burlap sack. I look like a summer executioner. It's not black. It's a light tan.
You look like a low-rent executioner. You look like the executioner left his mask in the wash and was like, "Oh no, but I've got a big execution today. What am I gonna do?"
Well, let's paint them multiple different colors then. We can each be a different one.
I'm not wearing this on my head, Boat.
Why not?
My portrait only has half of my face anyway. And thing number 2, it smells.
I mean, it was an onion bag. What do you expect?
I want to be a lutrocutioner. Onions are good for the skin.
Yeah.
Here you go, Johannes.
And what-
All yours.
And okay, so your portrait only shows half of your face, but it's the half that everybody gets to see. So that doesn't make any sense. You should at least...
Can't you give me one of those, like...
A domino mask? I don't have
All
any...
we have is a Papa John's mask.
I don't have any spirit gum to keep that on your face. We're gonna have to go with the Ninja Turtles bandana or something here.
Mm-hmm.
Solinar's already got a bandana tied around like the back of his head over like his nose and mouth, similar to Alita's mask.
He's gonna rob a train.
And then he's pulled his hood up, and he's like, "Yep, very inconspicuous."
Solinar, you look more suspicious.
No, I'm super inconspicuous now.
You look...
No, I look I look super inconspicuous. Koza, you wanted to say something?
I mean, you can't really see any defining features.
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah, that's why my mask works great.
oh,
All right.
here's a small one. This will work well. And so I'm going to take a small one and I'm going to slip it over bowl. And then I'm going to take one that's too big and slip it over my head, but it's going to go all the way down to my waist.
So, Bull is now a boo ghost.
Yes. And I'm also like a boo ghost.
Koza,
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. It looks like you're kidnapping Bull now. You gotta cut a mouth hole if you're gonna talk through a sack. You gotta cut a mouth hole because we can't understand anything you're saying.
You see a little hole.
I can understand you perfectly fine.
Okay, regardless of whatever is happening, she gestures over at Koza over here. This is sort of a temporary solution, is it not?
Yeah, that'll probably be easier if we're wearing masks.
Well, no, I mean, other than the fact that we're going to have to be wearing these for days, which is very concerning.
We won't have to wear them at night. It'll be dark. Nobody will be able to see us.
But that's not... Solinar, didn't you say something about going through Cinderdale's going to be really hard?
Well, the letter that we read says that we've all been banned from the area.
Well, that makes sense. We're wanted, apparently.
Yeah, so I think any citizens in Cinderdale that see us will be violent against us, probably, which I don't know. Like, I kind of have feelings about that. Like, I knew I'd get run out of town eventually because, you know, all of Dad's stuff, but like I didn't think I'd never be able to come back. I didn't think that'd be the situation.
You're going to be able to come back, Solinar. We're not actually criminals. There's definitely a situation here where something has gone awry, and we need a top detective to figure it out.
Johannes,
I can only think of one who's worthy to the task.
Johannes, we were actually banned for...
The 5,000 gold bounties?
That might be unrelated. No, the reason we were banned from Cinderdale is, according to this note, because we mucked up every...
So they're not even going to give us a chance to be able to make it right? That doesn't seem right. That seems like not right.
I feel like the only answer here is that we have to earn the amount of the bounties on ourselves and give it to the orphans.
Boat, I think that ship has sailed.
Are you
Koza,
drowning?
please, just take, like, at least lift it over your mouth.
Koza turns in the direction of Johannes to translate.
Oh, well, apparently I'm talking to the sack perfectly fine, and I think that Koza is too. Maybe just isn't quite communicating out to you all. But Koza said that he agrees with Boat. We gotta raise 5,000 gold pieces each.
Koza, take off! Alita's just gonna grab the sack off of his head and yank it off. I can't do this.
Koza falls over to the floor.
Oh no,
All
he's
right,
going through withdrawal. We gotta put a bag on him instead.
Alita, for the first time in her life, holds something over her head so Johannes can...
It's over. We should just leave it be.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like the citizens kind of took things into their own hands to fix this situation because they were not pleased with the solution that was left them. So, yeah, I'm inclined to think that us messing with it more will only upset people further at this point.
Maybe we should leave the money at the entrance to the town and then go around.
Well,
Okay.
Capital idea.
we could write a nice apology letter. That always seems to go over well.
Alita looks immediately at Boat.
Oh, you appreciate my pen out of everybody here?
If that's how you want to take that, yes.
Oh.
I have a bag of ball bearings.
To donate to the town?
Yeah, and that way, if we're leaving a letter, we can surround it with ball bearings, so no criminals can take it. It can only be taken by the town.
Interesting.
Don't any of you have a spell or something that'll make it so that the only people that can take it are the people who are supposed to take it? That sounds like the kind of thing magic could do.
I've got a copper butter knife, and I could put it next to it, and I could say, "This knife will attack you if you're evil."
I
Put
don't.
little googly eyes on it.
Yeah.
I don't-
Little frowny face.
I don't do any of that kind of magic. That's not my department.
Koza?
I don't think so.
Maybe maybe one of us could cast Reduce Enlarge on our bounty and reduce it.
All right, these are two separate problems.
I think the solution is just to get out of Telera as fast as we can.
Yeah,
I agree.
my understanding is the only way to get a bounty to go down is to leave the country until the heat dies down a little bit.
I mean, we're supposed to have asylum in Ilaria, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're going to be upset with us about this whole bounty thing, because they, being neighbors and trade partners and all, there's a lot of communication about wanted criminals.
Well, I'm certain the Queen understands how important our mission is.
I'm just saying we might have some apologizing to do there as well.
Also, let me talk a little bit about bounty hunters here. They might not necessarily care if we have political asylum in a place, because they may just want their money.
Yeah, bounty hunters are basically legal kidnappers. Basically.
Whoa, I didn't know kidnapping was legal. You've been not a criminal this whole time.
Yes.
So, we're in agreement. We will leave money at the entrance to Cinderdale and then go around.
Yes.
Yes. That seems like the easiest thing to do.
And,
Well, Koza's got all that experience writing letters.
I think it would mean the most...
Okay. I don't have any paper.
Wonderful, I do.
Can I borrow a pen?
Alita's gonna shuffle through her bag and produce like 5 sheets of vellum and a pen
Uh-huh.
and a small little inkwell.
All right, Boat sits down to write the letter at the diner table. Dear children, I write to you with heavy heart, buried beneath this burlap sack covering the shame of my face, to apologize for unintentionally wrecking the economy of your institution. I had no way of knowing that getting into that wrestling match would be the first domino in a financial crisis that would spill out and affect the whole area.
I feel like they told you it would be. Alita's like reading over your shoulder and being really nosy about it.
Hey, I'm doing something creative here, and you don't sit and critique the creativity while it's happening. Let me finish.
We also didn't know where the money from those fees went until we talked to the lady at the orphanage.
Okay, fair. I'll be good. She sits down.
So, as a way to make things right and assuage my burning conscience, and he glares at Alita while he writes that, please accept this boon, this stipend of X dollars to help support your orphanage and provide warm meals and warm beds and in the hopes that you will eventually find warm, loving homes.
And cold breakfasts.
Sincerely, Charles Gravyboat Barnes, ?
Wanted criminal.
I feel my conscience. Don't you feel good now, Bo?
I feel just as good as I did earlier.
He lied.
You have conscience lightning? Does that mean your powers are back?
No, none of my powers are back.
Oh, Sorry, I thought you were saying you had conscience lightning, and so I thought maybe that's a dragon priest thing.
No. Though, notably, I do still have my sense.
Well, yeah, you don't just stop smelling like things because you don't have powers.
Solinar, my dragon sense.
You've still got that mirror, though.
The pendant?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Well, you can just talk to those ghosts.
Please stop calling them ghosts. They're not.
They can tell you what's up.
About what?
The future. They're ghosts.
No,
they should be able to see it.
They have knowledge of their own lifetimes. They don't have knowledge of the future. That's the prophecy thing.
Yeah, but ghosts only know the past. That's when they lived.
They're also not ghosts. They're the collective consciousness of all of the silver priestesses who have carried this before me.
Well, like, what are we but our thoughts and recollections in time? Like, I wouldn't be who I am without the experiences and thoughts and emotions that I have on a regular basis.
But it doesn't have their thoughts or their emotions. It has...
So it's like a ghost book.
Sort of. Yes, if you want to think...
They're all ghost writers.
I don't know that I like it, but I'm certainly interested, and I guess I'll follow it.
What do you guys want to do now? We head out, or do you want to resupply? Or...
I think hitting the road faster is better.
Mm-hmm.
Koza?
I was gonna say the same thing. We probably shouldn't stick around for too long.
Yeah, who knows if Johnny Five Bags over there is gonna turn us in.
Oh, I've got 5 gold. You've got 2 bags.
Okay, you know what? That guy's creeping me out. We should definitely hit the road.
Yeah, we
sooner.
should talk to his boss. He really needs to be sacked.
There's a possibility that we haven't discussed
What is
yet.
the opposite of inspiration?
Oh, you got despair.
There's something we should talk about, but let's do it on the road.
Alita's gonna pack up her... I assume all of you follow suit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Everybody grabs their stuff, and you head out, moving towards the west, towards Cinderdale. You're able to cross the river at Bank pretty easily, and you head across the foothills. It's about mid-afternoon by the time you hit the foothills.
So, an option that is available to us if we're worried about crossing the rest of the land of Talair is that we could turn... We'd have to find some way to get the gold delivered, but we could turn south, go to Burnmere, and try and catch a ship from there across the southern seas. Now, ships don't travel as commonly across the southern seas, but between Aberdeen's little, river inlet and Fort Greyscar, you can usually find at least a couple of ships generally in the area.
I feel like if there's a place a bounty hunter would look for us, it would be at a port. I think they would be waiting for us to jump out of the country.
Yeah, I think Koz is right. I think we need to play this smart, not do the obvious.
You may be correct.
What if we pack ourselves in some boxes and get shipped there on the ship?
Oh, no, you don't want to do that one. I've tried that one a couple of times. It never works out well.
What's wrong with it?
Well, because you're inside the box, you have to stay inside the box, which, by the way, neck cricks have no imagining. They're so awful. But also, very frequently these boxes will get misdirected, and so you'll end up spending about twice as much time in shipping as you're supposed to because somebody loaded you onto the wrong ship going the wrong way. There was one time Locke and I were trying to get out of Edgeglen, and we jumped a ship at Herman Bay, and we thought we were headed to Millersport, but we headed instead to Arthursport. When we got there, we got redirected, and we were halfway to frickin' Boris Empire before we were like, hey, wait a minute. What's going on here?
All right. what other ways can we travel that aren't a ship that might draw less attention?
I mean, I think Koza might have the right of it. Like, if bounty hunters are going to look for us, they're going to look for us at major thoroughfares. We're the least likely to encounter a lot of folks on the land bridge, and whatever folks we meet on the land bridge, we can probably handle on our way out.
Mm-hmm.
Though I would request that since these are bounty hunters who are doing, law-abiding work, trying to bring people in for crimes, that we try not to kill them.
Right, just knock them out.
Yeah,
tie them up.
Knock them out, scare them off, whatever we can do. But, not ruthless murder like we sometimes do.
Mm-hmm. Should we hire some sort of covered carriage?
I mean, maybe we could get a cover for the cart.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Something a little more advanced than what we got.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, something to where at least a few of us at a time can go hide under it, so we won't seem as though we're traveling in this particular group.
I don't know where we would pick that up. Really, our next stop is Cinderdale, and we're not going to be able to do anything there. So,
has to be a tarp or something we can find somewhere.
I realized that you're saying to cover the cart, but for a second I thought Boat's plan was all of you throw a huge tarp over all of you and just sneak through Cinderdale under a big tarp.
We're just a big ghost.
I'm just thinking of the strip of Calvin and Hobbes where Calvin is under a blanket pretending to be an amoeba.
Hey, are you looking for a tarp? I have many tarps. Hey.
No, we already left.
Wait, did he follow us?
You stay at your tavern.
I'm on the
diner.
caravan.
My
caravan happens to be passing by yours. I heard tarps.
How about, why don't you run back to your town and go grab all of your tarps, and then you can catch up with us.
Good news, I brought them all with me.
Oh.
Oh.
Well,
So I have an idea.
Koza tries to navigate the "Where's my hug" guide.
what's the going rate for these tarps then?
Oh, the tarp going rate, it is 1 gold piece. 2 gold pieces.
A gold.
Now it's 3. I'm adjusting the market based on supply and demand.
I am not paying 3 gold. I'm not paying 1 gold piece for a tarp. It would have to be a hell of a tarp to be worth a gold piece. Are you kidding me?
Oh, I've got good news for you. I've got the best news. This news is so good. These tarps, they're even better.
Solinar just looks skeptically at the tarp seller. You're gonna have to demonstrate something that these tarps do that's better than most tarps.
Of course. Do you have by any chance, do you have something you're willing to throw against one of these tarps?
I can think of one thing I want to throw against the tarps.
I mean,
Yes, do it. Let me stretch the tarp out. Yes, this is so stretchy.
I've got a knife, but I don't want to hurt you.
Is this a thing you normally pay people to do for you?
He's got a tarp fetish.
Alita, what are you talking about? Alita, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Alita, why did you have to go and make this weird?
He's making it weird.
And now he's gonna be like, give me your tarp pics. I'll leave you alone if you send me tarp pics.
You, masked one, throw something against the tarp. Throw it.
I pick it.
We're not involved.
I pick him up when a fireman's carry, and then swing him off in an F5 at the tarp.
So when Discovery Zone was still a thing, and you would yeet kids into the foam pit.
Sure.
So you're just picking up the guy and you're throwing him against the tarp.
Yes.
Okay. You throw him against the tarp, and as he hits it, he disappears.
Oh my gods, we killed him.
Does the tarp go with him? Does it all just fold into itself?
No, it's all still there. And then he pulls it down and he's like, see? Oh, it's so good. It's a good tarp.
All right, we'll take the tarp.
Yes. Three gold pieces.
How big is this tarp?
Oh, 10 by 10.
It should be as big as we need it to be. It's a tarp of holding.
No, it's just a 10 by 10 tarp.
Ah.
A timpet tarp.
All
Boat, add that to your inventory.
right, 10 by 10
And reduce your inventory by 3 gold.
Well, I'll just cast enlarge on it.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
make sure to cast reduce on your gold by 3.
I almost wrote down 10 by 10 trap, which would have been cooler.
Well, see you on your journeys. May your top be strong. Yes. Yes.
Is this going to be like a situation like they blink and he has disappeared?
You blink and he's disappeared.
Oh my god.
Somebody comes up and be like, he's been dead for years.
Alon can't help but be a cryptid in all universes.
My default state of being.
There's an alternate universe where, like, Alon is Mothman.
I hope so. I hear that Mothman's ass is so good.
Yeah, Mothman is dummy thick if you believe in that statue.
Yeah, that statue's legit.
Yeah, it wasn't actually the buzzing of his wings that people heard.
Someone
It is
had to
not.
lovingly sculpt Mothman's butt cheeks.
Yeah,
for
everybody
that
look up that
statue.
statue. It's in West Virginia.
I know.
I really want to
Yes,
go
it is.
visit.
It's in Point Pleasant. September is when they do the annual Mothman Festival.
Y'all, can we go visit as a team? It'd be so good.
Actually, yeah, that sounds really fun, and I'd be happy to do that.
I'd have a
Okay.
great time.
So, as you blink, the small man disappears, and Boat is left holding not the bag, but the tarp.
Wasn't
Which
And again, his
tarps are very convenient because you can turn them into bags very easily.
Hold on. This person said that they were part of a whole caravan. Is the whole caravan gone or just the one person?
A whole caravan.
Oh my god.
It was a whole caravan, HOLE. That's why we can't see them.
We need to stop doing business with urban legends. That is not a thing that we should be doing on a regular basis at all.
I don't know. You're in the country. It's more of like a suburban or maybe even a country legend.
I don't
Like Garth Brooks.
Yeah.
I don't know what to call a country or suburban legend.
Chris Gaines is a country legend.
Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
I mean, Josh would agree. Solinar wouldn't, because he doesn't know who any of those people are.
Excuse you. Dolly Parton
Transcends.
is a queen in every dimension.
And Solinar's not very educated.
Oh, well.
How's he supposed to know about various monarchs in various places?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Alex just low-key confirmed that Dolly Parton exists in Virion.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure she
that's-
did.
It's not even low key. She said, I mean, period. There was no ambiguity. Now, here's where I want to get back to things though. I have an idea.
Okay.
Go on.
So here's my thought. We have a bounty of 5,000 gold pieces each. So people are looking for us at the ports specifically. What if they were looking for us and we were, hear me out, not us? Because they think there's 5 people, but if we either add or split up into different groups, then there will be not 5 people, and it could throw them off of our trail.
That's an excellent idea. Splitting the party is absolutely what we should be doing right now.
Oh, good.
I'm gonna say I don't like the idea of dividing us up because I think that at least in my experience with bounty hunters, they don't care so much if you're with the people you're normally found with. If they see you, they're gonna get you. And if one of us is, or 2 of us are separated from the rest of the group, and then, you know, it's a particularly powerful bounty hunter, like, I don't know, one of the bounty hunters of legend, like
Wolf the bounty hunter.
Wolf the bounty hunter's a big one.
Dingo the bounty hunter.
There's that one dog that's a bounty hunter. He's really capable. Yeah, pretty much any of those folks.
I was about to be like, name a bounty hunter that's not a reference to Dog the Bounty Hunter. I dare you. I dare you. You can't.
Boba T, the bounty hunter.
Cad Bane.
There's the
Boba Fett.
There's the Warforged bounty hunter IG-88. I don't know why he calls himself that, but whatever. It's cool for him, I guess.
Cut.
I mean, he was a major character in the first season of The Mandalorian. But yeah, I think it's funny that all three of our bounty hunter examples were from Star Wars.
I'm trying to think of any other fictional bounty hunters, and I'm coming up a little bit short, okay?
Zangalus?
I don't know that one.
Yeah, it's a Slayer. It's a deep Slayers reference. That is a deep cut Slayers reference.
That is deep cut 90s anime references.
Mm-hmm.
Alex's
Hey, do you know
wheelhouse.
that-
My point being, so about these bounty hunters, well, how are we going to avoid them? Because we got to do something to mix it up. I can't wear this bag every day for the rest of my life.
Actually, I have a thought. It may not be the best thought I've ever had, but it is a thought. You remember how Nell's army was like right outside of Cinderdale? Or no, it was right outside of Haunted. We should see if they're still there. Because if they're still there, they've probably got ways to move people real quiet.
I wonder if they've moved by now, though. We've been gone for a while, haven't we?
I mean, we have, but that might be a staging area that they use on a regular basis. I don't know. It's worth checking. It's not going to hurt anything for us to check. Plus, then, Koza's got a letter for Rosemary if she's there.
I see what you're saying now. We should all get face tattoos.
Yeah, actually, that would probably work really well. I could get something like, I've always kind of wanted, like, a spider on my left cheek. I think that'd be...
Ooh.
I think that'd be kind of cool.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Alita, you got like a squinty eye thing going on. Are you...
Yeah, you've got a face on your face.
Are you thinking about what your face tattoo would be? Oh, you could get like a lotus, like right on your forehead or something.
Okay, thing number one, I'm not tattooing anything. Thing number two, you want to get a spider tattooed on your cheek?
I think it'd be cool.
Is that judgment I see in your eyes?
Yes.
Well,
it is.
and people who are looking for Solinar Vacus would be like, well, that can't be him. They would have described the fact that he's got a huge spider cheek tattoo.
They would have been like, no, that's obviously the spider.
Yeah, that guy must be some sort of professional wrestler named the Spider or something.
There would just be a running gag of people aggressively slapping Solinar in the face because they think there's a spider crawling on him.
That's what happens to me because I've got a spider on my knee and people are just like, that's a knee slapper.
It is around this time and about late evening or so that you're able to get to a camping spot in the foothills. You set up camp, rest for the night, recharge, set out again, west towards Cinderdale. It's about early evening by the time you reach the gates of the village.
All right. Boat, let's put your letter inside this satchel.
All right.
And then, I don't know if this is my best idea, but what if we had Johannes lob the bag into the town? Is that a good idea? I don't know. I feel like leaving it here on the edge of town means that, like, people don't know what it is. But if a bag lands in, like, the town and goes clank, then they'll be like, oh, that made jingles like money.
Yeah, you never know if we leave it here. Somebody might see something and then say something because it's very suspicious.
Right.
I'm ready to be a catapult. Load me up.
Just, like, try and make sure you're aiming for open space. Because I don't want this to be like, here's all this money, and also we killed a man.
Okay.
Can't we just mage hand it or something over?
This
heavy.
is real heavy, Alita. This is there are thousands of gold pieces in this bag.
How many are you giving them?
The whole bag.
Thousands of gold pieces.
Okay, point of order for me as the DM. What gold are you guys giving them? Because if you remember, Solinar did leave a bag of money for the other orphans.
Yeah, he left a third of the total reward for Melody, which, if I recall correctly, was 5,000 gold pieces. So we'll say 1,500 is what he left for the other orphans, and then
the rest of it's going to
correct. So the other 3,500, which is a ludicrous sum of money, but also incredibly heavy.
Yeah, I don't know if I can throw this.
We need to put it into different, smaller bags.
Chapman, how much does that amount of gold weigh?
Well, it depends on how big a coin is.
Yeah.
So they're going to be like silver dollar sized?
If they're silver dollar sized, then they'd be like...
I mean, it's going to be really expensive.
I don't even think like historic gold coins are that big.
Look, you guys need to understand there are three things in my worlds that will never be consistent. Weights, prices, and measurements.
Well, it's no wonder the economy's crazy. I tell you what, Johannes, here's what I'm thinking. I'll use my mage hand to help move the bag so that we can make sure that it lands in a safe spot on the ground. All you have to do is just really, really throw it, and then I'll guide it to ground.
I can do that. I feel more confident now that I've looked up the weight of a coin.
How much is it, Alon?
Oh, I'm doing the most imprecise math ever. I just feel like I could probably chuck it. I think it's, even with that many coins, if they're actually the size of like a dime, which seems like old
silver
old coin.
dollar.
Is it okay? Okay.
Alex is hard committed to silver dollars.
It's just a fun weight to have as a coin. It's a nice shape, it's a nice size, and it makes you feel like you've got doubloons.
This is becoming bad news pretty quickly. Okay, it's roughly 260 pounds.
God. Ugh.
Yeah.
I felt much more confident.
Who's got a shot put?
Yeah, going to the measure of things and typing in 32 grams, it's great because it tells you like what else weighs 32 grams. It's like it's about 9/10 as heavy as a light bulb, about 1 3/10 as heavy as a battery, 7/10 as heavy as a golf ball, 1.5 times as heavy as a mouse.
This is so funny.
So you have to
the
yeet
default mouse.
several thousand mice.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm throwing. Okay, so it's going to be roughly 250 pounds.
How much can your character throw?
I mean, there's rules to this. Should I just keep looking up rules? I'm fine with that.
There's a rule for how much your character can throw.
I know this.
Roll for adrenaline.
I've read it.
I think Alon's question was, do you actually want me to go look up the rules for how much my character can throw?
This is actively amusing to me, so yes.
Okay, so you can lift 30 times your strength. Therefore, throwing is just lifting.
Wait. You
30
can
times your
lift?
strength modifier or your strength score?
Your strength score.
Holy shit, that
crap.
means like
That-
somebody...
I beg your pardon?
That means Boat could do 480 pounds.
Yeah, like just like a person with like a bat, like an 8 for a strength score could like straight up deadlift 240 pounds.
Man, that wizard is jacked.
He's a swole wizard. He's a swolzard.
A Swizzard.
Swizzard sounds like something else.
Swizzard sounds like a candy from the 90s that was like a lollipop and a powder you had to dip it in.
I feel like it also had like deeply problematic like labeling.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, what are our calculations here?
You can push, drag, or lift a weight in pounds up to twice your carrying capacity or 30 times your strength score.
Can we achieve enough delta V to escape the planet's gravitational pull?
Oh, I hate this. This is my least favorite part of this game.
Can you throw it at the proper intercept angle to fall into a loose elliptical orbit?
Yeah, we're looking to land a bag of gold on the moon.
Houston, we have a refund.
Okay, I'm done with this. I'm blessing myself and I'm rolling to throw.
Oh, bless this mess.
Solinar is going to cast Mage Hand He is gonna leave
I
it.
critted. I critted.
Oh my
Are you
god!
I'm not messing with you.
Yeah.
I rolled the die. It came up with what it came up with. It knew I was fed up and needed to move on.
All right, Alon, you go right ahead and you describe this situation, honey.
Johannes is sitting there trying to do math. He's scratching things into the ground. He's scratching them out. He's like, oh my god, why are these coins so big? Oh, I hate this. There's no reason for these coins to be this big. They're made out of gold. There can't even be this much gold in the world. And he just keeps writing things and scratching them out and writing things and scratching them out. And he's like, I don't care how much they weigh. I'm throwing this bag. And he runs up and he grabs the bag and he starts doing the like spin around in circles thing.
Johannes goes into a rage.
And it's just momentum and he's just spinning and spinning until he's just like, he's the pinion and he's just like rotating in place.
And he's got that diagonal arc on the bag. So it's like,
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And then his Milcery evolves into an alchemy based off of what candy he's carrying at the time.
And you can hear popcorn popping from his pockets. And he goes and he lets go right when it's about to hit that point of the arc, and it just goes, and it whistles, and then it makes a little star thing out into the sky, and then gold rains down on the town. It's just gold pieces raining down, and a letter softly floating down as well. And by on the town, I mean specifically just over the orphanage.
It doesn't bust a hole. It should bust a hole in the roof.
No.
It collects in the gutters, and the gutters are just running with gold. And the kids are coming out, and they're like, "Oh yeah, gold, gold!" And they're like collecting it all. And then one person runs over who's greedy, and he's like, "I want that gold." And then the kids gang up on him, and they just are like, "No, you don't get any of this." And they instead they're like, "But you can buy this popcorn that we had sponsored shipped to us." And the guy's like, "You know what? I think you deserve it, kids." And he gives them some more gold. And they're like, "Good, we're never going to have to ever need money again." And he's like, "I want that gold." And then the kids... And they lived happily ever after. The end.
Quid Pro Roll is a co-production of Alpha Comics and Games with Goblins and Growlers. Our audio production and all original music composition is provided by Gabriel Perez. He can be found at Amethyst Audiomancer on Instagram. The voice of Alita and our DM for the podcast is Alex Smith. She can be found at Alpha Comic Games on Twitter. The voice of Charles Gravyboat Barnes is Brandon Dingus. He can be found at Way of Brandalore on Twitter. The voice of Eek and Koza are Chapman Adams. He can be found at What Are Birds on Instagram. The voice of Johannes is Alon. He can be found at The Dungeon Meowster on Instagram. And finally, the voice of Solinar is me, Josh Maltby, and I can be found at BlackCloakDM on Twitter. Thanks so much for listening.
And on top of that, we'll all be wearing masks forever after this, so nobody will be able to find us.
Yeah, I'm certain that no one will be like, I wonder who those 4 masked individuals are. They seem on the up and up.
Yeah, I mean, it worked for Ric Flair back in, like, mid-90s WCW.
Yeah, I forgot about that time in the 90s where Ric Flair had a bounty on his head and was being hunted down by Dog the Bounty Hunter.
It will not surprise me if Ric Flair had a bounty on his head, because he is, wheeling, dealing, kiss stealing, son of a gun.
Honestly, like... And I'm wanted, dead or alive. It would be a really great walk-on song.
Yeah.
It's true.
But anyways, we'll just pull a WCW Black Scorpion, and we'll just be, we'll be under masks for a long period of time, and the bounty hunters will never find us.
Yeah,
Brandon could be just making stuff up at this point. I'd be like, okay.
I am not. There was a storyline when Flair, I think, was feuding with Sting in like 1989, 1990.
Ric Flair had a feud with Sting, the musician?
No, interesting thing about Sting is Sting, the wrestler, actually owns the name Sting, and he lets Gordon Sumner use it for the price of $1 a year.
I love that. This is the type of fact that I wanted to have in my life.
We're getting so close to that educational podcast, you guys.
Yeah.
Does he send the $1 in a bottle?
Yeah.
Puts it out to sea.
Check in a bottle. Yeah, there's a photo of there's a couple of photos out there of the two of them because they think it's funny. So they always have a laugh when they see each other. But anyway, Flair was feuding with Sting, and he ended up disappearing or something like that. And he told Sting he was after him or something like that, and he ended up wearing a like a luchador mask and calling himself the Black Scorpion. I actually don't think it was Flair actually under the mask every time, because usually in any kind of situation like this in wrestling, it's not always the guy they say is under the mask. But yeah, then it was revealed that Flair was the Black Scorpion.